could also photo bash. Do y'all want to see me make a new enemy? That might be actually really useful, and I kind of need some more enemies in the game. I did this one with watercolor, so it doesn't quite fit. Yeah, let's do some actual work for the game at the same time. Let's do save as. Okay, and then yeah, we're gonna nuke these layers. Actually, we cannot. Oh, that's right. Alt-Shift-D. And then make it viewable. Yeah, it's also probably gonna teach you all something useful. Here's the thing, like you need art really to kind of make your game, right? But you don't need to be very good at art. You can do this thing called photo bashing. It helps if you know how to paint. You can make it look a bit better. But you can get pretty far with just some photo bashing. All right, so we're gonna go hairy. Let me see. Yeah, okay. And then what we do is we set that to tracing. I'm gonna need a layer between it. Let me get my pen. Right, 1 hour to make a new entity or enemy in the game. I'm not sure if it'll be like hostile or anything. And let me see. So first thing I want to do is let's do this. Yeah, that works. So we're gonna do kind of an underpainting here. And shrink this down. Yeah, we're just gonna get some basic shapes. Actually, no, let's do it differently. Yeah. Okay, let's go up here. Well, it'll be easier to do it this way. All right, now we go here. All right, so with the tracing layer, when I touch here, it does the color there. So I go like that. And then if I hide it, you can kind of see what's going on. All right, so we're going to go through and just kind of touch everything. Kind of want to work dark to light mostly. You start with a more like a large brush. Don't need to really worry about details at this stage. They kind of come next. Now what'll make this really annoying is those lines. Okay, so then here, these. And we can drop the opacity of this a little bit. Yeah. Kind of see if we're getting it. Yeah, just big shapes. That's what you want. Yeah. You can get a little smaller so you can get this. All right, now kind of the annoying part is we got to get these little lattices, but I think I'll just kind of do this. just gonna get like key points. And then we can come back later. Yeah, kind of like in between here and here, here and here. Like that. And then I'll get these big outer rings. It's a pretty old Cintiq, and it has, you'll notice sometimes I'll get two lines. I think it has like a problem with the pen's sensor or something. Yeah, it's old. I need to replace it. But on the plus side, replacements are like cheaper and better. You can get like, for like $100, no, $200, you can get like a full monitor with a better resolution. Okay, so that's the basis. So now we can turn this off. Yeah, okay, and take a look at what we need. All right, so then we go down here and I pick a knife so I can get kind of flat color. So if you look, it's pretty hard to get, see how there's all those gaps in here, right? So it's pretty hard to get that. So what you do is you have a layer in between the two. And this is actually the way you do it in normal painting too. And then you just come in and do basically an underpainting. So in normal painting though, you do it the reverse. You do like just like splash on there. Maybe you'll do your drawing with erasing, but for the most part you put down a big base coat, so you're not dealing with just like a pure white canvas, right? So same idea. Okay, and I'll get that, and then we just kind of do this and do this. Okay, so now when I get rid of the image, yeah, way more solid in the face area, right? I can probably get a bit more there, here, like that. Okay, so it still doesn't look right, but that's the first step. All right, now, bring it back. We can keep the base layer. Okay, so everything's on. So now we bring this opacity up. Actually, we can get rid of the underpainting and then bring this opacity down so that we can see sort of the features, right? And then I'm going to zoom in about here and move it there. Okay, now we go and we get our brush again. We could probably go, yeah, okay. And what we're trying to do now is we look for, see these? We're looking for shapes that we can get. And what you really want to focus on is the dark shapes. And again, my pen is kind of busted. As I come in here. So we're just trying to refine it. And you're, in this painting style, you're not really trying to get like photographic, right? If you want a photo, just use a photo. What you're trying to get is whatever art style you're trying to emulate. So I'm trying to emulate Impressionist oil. But if you wanted to do watercolor, this program could do that too. And then, yeah, we can come in here. And then I can trim this a bit. There we go. Okay. And then let's do this. And then get that. Okay, and then this needs to be modeled a bit better. Okay, so then bring it up. And so like that doesn't look quite like that. You want to go back. Does that look kind of like the face, right? That's what you're shooting for. You go up close to see the details, but most people don't recognize things. Like humans don't have a zoom, right? So you don't have to worry about getting like every little square inch. But if you peel it back and you look at it and it like doesn't, like you don't recognize it as a thing, or if you show it to someone and they go, "What's that?" You got some work to do. And then let's get in here. Okay. And then pull back. Bring it up. I think that eye on that side could use a bit. Yeah, let's bring it down pretty low. And then actually I can probably get this a little smaller. Yeah, because this is a kind of a cool element right here I want. There, here. Okay, and then we can kind of get some of these. If we can't really see it, so then bring it back up. There we go. Yeah. It's kind of what we're shooting for. I think. Yeah, we need to get kind of that in there. All right. And then this is pretty much the whole process. And then there's one final thing you can do that makes it look even better. There's kind of some gaps. Yeah, I want to get these. That's a nice detail. And then we get each of these. Now this is pretty tedious, but in this case, it's nice. Adds to it. Okay. Bring it up and get rid of that. Did I miss any? Yeah, kind of right here. Actually, these dark areas. Should try to get, yeah, try to fill those in. And then this one. Okay, and then the top part. Oh yeah, you found the cure to brain rot. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I kind of do this. Give people like a antidote. Oh yeah, that's right. right. These need to be pretty small. I think maybe I should switch to a liner. Yeah, let's do that. Like I said, you know, this isn't too difficult. If you need art and you're struggling, like you're making a game, you need some art, just do this. It's totally fine. Like, if you ever wonder how those concept artists who bang out like hundreds of concept paintings a week, it's because they do this. It's called photobashing. Totally valid. Get a little bit of kind of fun details there. I want to avoid details, but then anything that's sort of like the character of the thing, try to include it. And then since you don't know how to paint, it might look weird. So the thing to focus on is look for the dark shapes. And then just a few highlights. You don't need a lot. The dark shapes are pretty important, so make sure that those are there. But highlights you can kind of do with or without. But like a couple of key nice ones here and there really help. And then let's make sure we get some of these. Okay, see where we are. Yeah, that works. I probably want to clean up a bit up here, but yeah, there we go. Let's get this. There, those. Like that. That works. Just buy some right here. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, artists have been quote unquote cheating for a very long time. It's totally fine if you do it. Okay, so I do need to try to be able to erase a bit. Make sure that edge is good. And this one too. And then come here. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to focus in on this area. That's good. And then I probably want to come down and erase. Yeah, sometimes it freaks out and like you can't erase when you're tracing. Here. Let's switch back to here. And then let's increase its size about that much. Same deal. Yeah, this pen is kind of jacked. I want to change those birds a bit, so we'll do those in a second. I think so. I think so. You can't see it, but basically the pen is barely working. I'm like just kind of cramming it onto the board. I need to get a new thing. There we go. Okay, we just want to get an impression of these, and then I can come back and add a few choice spots. Yeah, let's do that. That's very annoying. Yep. Okay, is it going to let me erase? No. Yeah. Oh well. You notice I'm not being too accurate about it, which is this style. In a lot of ways, accuracy is kind of overrated. That's kind of the thing that kind of made a lot of games recently kind of suck. They got to where they thought they could make very accurate, crazy accurate games. So they went all out and basically sacrificed gameplay for rendering perfection. Okay, so then alright. Let's check it, see what it looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. What am I missing? I seem to be missing. Yeah, I think I can kind of come in like this. That's good. Inside here isn't really painted well. Yeah, pretty much all of these jade pieces need some love. Let's just get rid of it. I kind of know where they are, so to fill those in. Okay. And then... Okay, so that gets... Yeah, it's pretty close. It's kind of what I want. Let me see. Yeah, let's go here. And... I hate that bug. There, and okay, here, there, okay, and step back and take a look. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so then we want to get, let's just confirm that's okay. That works. And then let's get in here with these birds. Just kind of see if I can make them look like birds. Okay, so part of it is going to be this shape. Oh, that is just crazy annoying. Okay, and then maybe bring it down a bit. Okay, and same deal over here. Okay. All right. See, that kind of looks like birds. Yeah. Why does that one look so weird? No, didn't actually finish painting it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Probably need to do this some. Yeah, I want them to be more solid looking. All right, so that's photo bashing for you. So the next part is make sure that Things are kind of in the right place. And then is that what it looks like? Yeah, I think it's a little off center. Not really. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we gotta do a bit more up here. Probably. Let's make sure that looks a bit better. Yes, that's better. Way better. Right, so then we can do a new thing. Oh yeah, and what's all you guys is it's not too hard to do. That's the thing, right? I'm tracing everything, right? You just get a program like Rebel, and then suddenly, wow, you're a professional oil painter. Now it does help to know how to paint. The thing to remember is I do know how to paint. I could sit here and do it. It would just take me 3 hours to kind of get the same result. So it's more of just a speed up, right? Because if you know how to paint, then you know kind of like what makes things work or not, where they should go. Okay, cool. So now, next thing. So now you want to look at edges. So just kind of a quick lesson on what an edge is. So let's say I have that color there, and then this color right next to it. Okay, so where two shapes meet, right, is an edge. And what you want to do, if you, and this is something you find in a lot of art that is like line art, it's really hard for them to do like soft edges, so they tend to just do a line, right? But also a lot of times in like rendering, like game rendering and whatnot, everything is hard edged. Like everything is like perfect shapes right on top of each other, right? So that kind of makes it actually harder to sort of understand what's going on. Weirdly, like less accurate images are more realistic. It's like if the image is less accurate, your brain will just fill in the gaps and people will think it looks totally realistic, right? So if I come over here and I pick this brush, kind of go up a bit, and I start doing kind of this. Now you still see that edge, right? But now it's softer, it's broken. So if all you do is do this painting and then go through and find any kind of hard lines, so like this one, that one, and just like bust between them, just do like a little ragged edge kind of like between them, it'll look way better. It'll look like more realistic. It's a weird effect, but basically if you remove solid edges in key places and enhance edges in others, people will think it's more realistic than it actually is, right? So that's what I'm going to do next. And it's just a strange phenomenon. Probably one of the people best at that was John Singer Sargent. So you ever go up to one of like a museum and there's a John Singer Sargent, go up to one of his paintings, what you'll find is they're stupid accurate, like ridiculously accurate when you're about 6 feet away. But then you walk up and you see that it looks accurate, but then there's these big blobs of paint and it shouldn't look accurate. And then you step back and boom, it looks accurate. It looks very, very realistic. And you get up close, it doesn't look realistic at all. And that's kind of because he's sort of doing that. That's just going to kind of look dirty. Am I still tracing? Seriously? Kind of want that sharp edge there. So you get a few of those. Maybe this one? Yeah, a couple of these might work. Let's see, where else do we have? Some of this. Yeah, we can bust these up. And then let me drop the transparency and get rid of that. Bring that back. Yeah, because what I want to do is, and let's zoom in. Yeah, I kind of want to use this brush to get some of these shapes to be a bit softer. The mouth doesn't really look like a mouth, but that's fine. And then let's bust that edge, that edge. Get those. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna give it a nice look. Couple here. Anything else? Kind of this, maybe? Yeah, don't want to overdo it, because you can get into where, like, you do too many. Yeah, inside here, these can all be, like, get a bit of lost edges. And also here. Then we can kind of come like that. And then while I have this here, let me see if I can get these holes. Might need to come back. Oh god, that is so infuriating. Oh man, that just drives me insane. Okay, and then, yeah, let's get this back. Okay. Let me see if I can clean this edge. Can I clean you? All right. And then make that a little bit nicer there. Okay. So now off on max. Yeah. Is there anything where that just kind of looks splotchy? I think, yeah, like this. Okay. So that can stand on its own, and I could put that in the game kind of as is. So if you were trying to do it, this would be, there you go. But you sort of have to look and see, you possibly like, does it fit the other art you've done, right? I see how that suddenly kind of looked more, now it looks more realistic, but in some ways I'm like, maybe it's going toward closer to too realistic, right? So just adding the kind of fuzzier little patterns and different textures goes a long way to kind of making it look less like it's painted, you know? It's tough to explain. I think you just have to go see, like, yeah, like Lady Agnew. Yeah, Lady Agnew, John Singer Sargent. He was a badass. And if you get a chance to see him, if you're in Boston or New York, down in Brooklyn, his watercolors are even better. Okay, so we can save that. Okay, so now what we want to do is I'm going to make one more layer. So now that we have this, though, I can come in and kind of turn off the tracing, and I can come up with something that kind of makes it look interesting in the game, right? So like, for example, the discs, I could make them glow or something. It also depends on what I'm going to do with it. So if I wanted to be an enemy, it's kind of weird. So maybe it's like an idol or something. I don't know, right? But like I could do something like maybe do this. Where are we at? Like right here. And then I can kind of do boom. Let's see if that does anything. Nah, that looks like garbage. Probably, let's see. I could possibly grab that and then boost the chroma. Let's see. So basically, then once you have your base image, you just kind of mess with it and see what would work. You see, is that gonna do anything? Yeah, it's kind of crap. Kind of crap. The other thing I could do is actually just draw some fake ass eyes. I kind of want to get rid of that. Yeah, I like that better. So let's try that real quick. I'm gonna get the liner. So this is where you kind of get creative, right? You want to make it different. Yeah, let's go black. Let's see if we can like maybe model some glowing eyes. Something like that, and then let's get a red that's kind of dark, and let's go hairy. Let's make it darker than that. Or we can try to say it glows, right? here. And all I'm really doing is I'm looking at the dark and the light in the painting underneath it, and then kind of replicating it with red. Trying to get sort of a similar shape. Then, so that's going to look pasted on, right? You don't want that. I mean, you know, maybe I just don't have that in the thing, right? I'm just showing you how you can mess with it and alter it. But then you go get this guy. No, this one. What you're looking to do is you pick a color kind of next to it. So I'm going to bust that edge up. So broken edges kind of give you realism. It's the best way to think about it. Sort of the same on the inside here. Then come back through here. Alright, so that looks like. Does it look dorky? It looks kind of weird because they're like not the same size. Hold on. Okay. Something like that. And that's why you do another layer, because you might be like, nah, and you have to like mess with it a bunch. And then what we can do is, let's pick this, this one. Okay, and then let's go there. We can pick like a pretty big highlight, bring this down, go here and here. Something like that. It looks good. Yeah, I don't like the red eyes. So I'm gonna show you how I put it in the game though. All right, we're gonna pretend like whatever. The eyes are jewels. I don't know how to model a jewel. You know what you would do, right? Go get a photo of like a ruby or a gem, and then just paste it on there and do more photo bashing, right? But we're gonna try and make this look like a bad guy. All right, so I fix it. I'm gonna save it. Then get rid of the canvas. Now it's transparent. Okay. Then we're going to go File, Save As. And it's going to be massive. We're going to save the PNG, Gold Savior in oil. Okay. And close it. Okay. So now I need to put it in the game. So my game is all based on 2D sprites. You know, it's like a Doom, right? It looks 3D, but it's not. So we want to make this. I'm going to make it square. So 1024 by 1024. OS. I'm on Windows. Okay, and then we're going to place the image into our photo editor. So the that will get you pretty far. Where'd it go? Then you have to kind of go, like, the painting program will get you pretty far, but then you have to get into a photo editor like this to clean it up. Okay, and this is okay, and then we export it. And And then we change the size, and if I remember right, it's like 256 pixel. Yeah. And I can tag it 256. Save. All right. Now we go see what it looks like in the game. So let me see. Oh, hey, and it's almost perfect on the timing. So on my game, I just go in and I do assets config. Let's see. Did I have the savior? Yeah, I got the savior already. My copy. Projects. No. Pictures. Game. Gold savior. Oil 256 to assets. And then go gold savior oil. 256 ls assets. Right, gold saver oil. Yeah, cool. Okay, and then we can go configure an enemy. To use that, we can just like change one of these guys, but we could also make a new enemy. Yeah, let's make a new enemy. Based on the giant. No, let's base it on the knight. So I can go like this. Yeah, we'll just use that tile for now. Combat, that's fine. Motion, fine. Enemy config, fine. Yeah, no, it's a simple animation, no frames. Sprite is gold savior oil. Let me confirm. Oil. Let me confirm the assets. Config. Gold savior. Yeah, what is it called? It's just gold savior. Okay, and yeah, sure. He'll sound weird when he dies. He'll sound like a human, but that's fine. Okay. And then make run. So, and this is the thing, like you can do this really good painting, but you do have to go and check that it makes sense. Because see how dark this is? So maybe I make the painting too dark and I'm going to have to go back, right? So I can spawn him in. Can I? Oh, interesting. I cannot spawn him in. Really? Did I hard code it? I did hard code it, I think. Maybe we get lucky and he's here. I have a debug menu, but I guess I hard coded the debug menu. Let me check it out. What did I call that? Yeah, debug UI. Add spawn button. Gold savior. Gold savior. Spawn 5. Alright, that should make him show up. Come on, linker. I got 2 minutes before the ad starts. I'm going to set up that DevFS. I actually might see if I can buy another disk to put in there. All right, there he is. Gold Savior. Spawn him in. What do you look like? There he is. Nice. Yeah, so see, I think I would want to make him maybe brighter, or maybe make these a little brighter. Right? But yeah, so far not too bad. I can't make a weapon, can I? No, yeah, it crashes. We're working on the ritual crafting thing. So yeah. I know that I don't like the red eyes, yeah. I think when I use this guy, he's not gonna be an enemy, it'll be like sort of like a healing point or some sort of like save point, you know? But yeah, that's a bit better, right? With the dark background. So there you go. That's how I make all the assets in the game. Also, I think he's floating, right? Yeah, he should be floating. Typically, if you want the enemy to look like it's on the ground, you got to move it down some. And another thing, if you're doing anything, the horizon line is always where your eyes are, the viewer's eyes are. Okay, so if you think things are like too tall or too small, it's because you have to put the head of the thing at the midpoint, because the middle is where the horizon line is. So in this case, the if I want the idol to be human height, it should be right there. That's how tall it is. But I want it to look bigger, so. And there you go. And that's how I do my photo bashing. All right, we got an ad starting, and yeah, after that, let's get it going. What's the best way to learn C++? I am working on a course in C++, but it's not there yet. What I did is I went through, well, I knew C++ from 20 years ago, so old ass, not really relevant C++. And then I read Zarn Storstrup's book, which is absolutely terrible, but it got me started. And then I went through cppreference.com. So I can show you that after the ad break, but basically just through the CPP reference mostly. And we have the ad now. Awesome. Yeah, there we go. That's photo bashing to make your game art. And also I'm kind of pixelating it on purpose because it's 256 by 256, and then I let it get upscaled. So I'm going for like a, you'd have to play the old games I'm trying to copy to kind of understand what I mean. Maybe I can fire up Stone Keep and you'll get it. The second you see Stone Keep, you'll be like, oh yeah. I don't know. I'm iffy on the eyes. I think I'd have to go get some gems and actually copy them.